Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Johnny Davis Live. And that's right, we're here on this Friday, February 28th, 2025, here for a great edition of a lot of chatter, if you will, with some upcoming fights. As you see on the screen there, we got some really interesting guests. We're going to be coming in talking about their upcoming fights. As you can see there in the scroll there, we have Miss Courtney Reed, who should have been on like last week or so, and he's going to be with us today. Then we have two guys who are going to be battling against each other. Jesus Martinez Gomez and Mr. Gary Boeing. Is going to be an exciting time to chat with these guys just a little bit. As you know, Mr. Courtney Reed is going to be taking on the man himself, Hunter Sheeran, who was on last week, had a lot of good things to say as well. So we're looking forward to chatting with everyone and then going from there. So I just got a little bit of stuff we want to do before we get started with our guest here today. As you can see, we are looking for a challenger for this young man. His name is Tyler Jones. He's 8-0 out of Georgia, 195 to 215 pounds. This is for an IKF certified title. If you want it, come and get it. Like I always say in IKF, we do not do easy. That's right. When I offer someone up, anybody, for a certified title, I vetted them. I think that they have something special, like some of our guests here today. And that means that you got to bring it. You got to bring some to get some, though. That's the bottom line. But because I never do easy. When I match fights, to be very honest with you, if I'm involved in even, I try to match the fights to beat each other, right? What good is it from the customer perspective if you have someone in there that you can take out very easy? That doesn't help the fighter. It doesn't help anybody. So this is why I try to always make sure that my fights, the fights that I match up, if I have anything to do with it, I want these guys to have the potential to beat each other. So in Tyler Jones, he is undefeated. He is out of Georgia. He is trying to prove himself. He wants to step it up. I've seen this young man. He is indeed very, very talented and everything. And I think truly that, hey, if you think you got the right guy, somebody at that weight, they have to have a record, a winning record, ideally, and all. And they're at that weight class. Contact me. My contact information is on the website. It's also on the screen. We'd love to talk with you a little bit about that young man right there. As you also know, the IKF Spring Classic is coming up. In a couple of weeks now. It's winding down. These men on the call today are going to be fighting on the IKF Spring Classic. These guys are talented. They're ready to go, and they're going to do their thing. But we have a ton of titles. Not a ton, but we have a full day of fights starting at like 1 o'clock on that Saturday, March 15th, and it is going to go all the way to like midnight that night, right? So then with the super fights will be starting at 7, but all the way up from 1 o'clock on, there's going to be a whole day of championship Muay Thai, kickboxing, freestyle kickboxing fights on March the 15th. You need to get your tickets. That's what you need to do. Go to ikffightplatform.com and get your tickets. Also going to be on pay-per-view at akplive.com. We hope you guys will certainly come out. It's going to be a great day for our sport on March the 15th in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Landmark. We hope to see you guys there. All right, guys. One more piece of business really quick. Let me just say that before I bring up our first guest and Mr. Courtney. We have our IKF World Classic that is coming up in July at the Westgate in Las Vegas, Nevada. Guys, registration is going on right now at the ikffightplatform.com. Great belts, great fights, freestyle, 5 styles of fighting. We also have the PKB that's also going to be there. The PKB, we call it PKB PMT event. It's also going to be on Friday this time. Friday, make note. It's on their website, but it's going to be on Friday, and you guys need to try to get your fighters there because that means you can have fighters in semi-contact, get that done, and all weekend you can have the full contact fights. A reason to bring all of your people out for that event. That's at the Westgate, and that is in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, moving right along. We got the man with the plan. He's been on the show before. He recently fell a little short on that title, just a little bit short on that title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Mr. Courtney Reed. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, sir. Good. Thank you for having me.
Good, 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 good. It's good to have you back on again. I remember the last conversation that we had. I mean, a lot of good information that we were sharing and stuff like that. And I tell you what, could you bring your camera up or down just a little bit because I have that thing right in front of you. I might be able to help out with that too. Let me take that off. That might help a little bit. Yeah, yeah, that's better right there. And I got the picture on the screen of the young man who you are going to be fighting. You guys obviously know each other. You guys have had conversations with each other. You guys have shared a hug or two, and stuff like that. And, maybe a little bit of love. But as I understand it, and as he said, maybe not a lot of love on that particular day. Tell me a little bit about your thoughts on that particular fight.
I'm thinking that he may have jumped the gun as far as experience. He's pretty big. He's pretty dangerous. But at this,
no, not pretty big. Hey, Courtney, Courtney, not pretty big. He's a big man. The man is 6'8", 300 pounds to your 6'4", 250 pounds, right? That's a big man. And a big man, any kind of big man coming at you like that, it's gotta work with your psychic just a little bit, especially if he has bad intentions.
Oh yes. Definitely messing with my psyche. Been working on that composure, make sure I'm be able to be guarded. Because I know he's going to be coming at me, whether he is or if he's not. I'm going to be prepared. I know I got a big challenge ahead of me, but that's why we put the work in.
Right. Well, you mentioned that you recognize his size, and all, and again, anybody that size hitting on you, and he's not only that. Let's talk about the real elephant that might be in the room. The fact that you are 39 years old, and he's trying to. Let me say this first. I want to qualify it. Age is somewhat a number, but it does affect things, right? But I keep talking crap myself that I'm 62, and I think I can do pretty good out there myself if I wanted to. But you're 39. He is only 22. And I reminded him last week I won my world title at 22. I was 22. You're there. You got gusto. You got energy. I was pretty much at the top of my game right at that time. 39. Have a little wear on you, a little bit older, things hurt just a little bit more. Come on, I'm telling the truth. When you get out of bed, before you just jump right up and start doing push-ups or sit-ups, you got to rub your legs just a little bit and make sure. Talk to me, Courtney.
Yeah, you're right about that. When I get out the bed in the morning, I can't stand straight up. I got to ease into it, but it's all good. No problem there with me. I like to think of it as he's 22. Yeah, he's in the prime of his life, but I've also seen winters. I've seen 35 plus winters, and he ain't been around that long. And yeah, we live in a house and society, but that time and that pride in my life is gonna make the difference. I'm gonna be the veteran on the fight night.
So you think that your maturity is going to have an edge in this fight? It very well could. It very well could. I've definitely seen, the experience and maturity play a role in it, right? But being young is being young. It is a different kind of thing. What about when a 300-pound man puts his hands on you? Because I guarantee you don't have any 300-pound sparring partners. I mean, that's at 6'8". You don't have those people around you. Let's call it what it is. So what do you think? Do you think that might feel different? You think that might cause a little shock, a little awe? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's gonna cause a little shock. It's like when you jump in a pool for the first time and you don't test the water, you jump in there, you just have to get it over with. You gotta see what you gotta see what that first hit feels like. You gotta weigh your
not that you're gonna say hit me, right? No, you're not gonna necessarily say hit me, but
you gotta get over it. You gotta get over it. Right.
Yeah, you're not gonna be that bold. So you know what? Go on and put one right there. Hey, you ain't gonna do that slap fighting.
No, I don't want to take it like that. No, I want to be in the best possible defensive position so I can take this punch and see what's next.
Let me digress for a moment. I'm going to digress just for a moment. What do you think about slap fights? Look, okay, first of all, let me take the fighting part off. Okay. Now listen, we could create some slap fighting because we used to do that in the hood, right? We'll be tearing each other up. Now, if somebody created that, that would be interesting. But what do you think about somebody just standing up there, letting somebody just whack them as hard as they could without any defense?
It's like you putting your chin up on a platter saying, hit me in a spot that's going to knock me out unconscious. And whether it's an open fist or a closed fist, that's just too much if you're going to be holding your chin out for. And I like to watch it, but I couldn't do it. I can only go one time and go first and quit.
You got to go first. I think that would change the game, the fact that you're going first. The only defense you have is biting down on your mouthpiece and tensing your neck. I mean, that's the only defense you got.
Wow.
It is. Dana, come on, Dana. Dana, come on, man. Come on now. I mean, come on. But, again, it's hard not to just scroll by. When you see these big old husky guys sitting up there and one guy sitting like this out here and the other guy just loading up, it's hard just to kind of go by. You know what I mean? It's like a street fight. Right? When you see a street fight, everybody gather around. So I guess he kind of created just a little bit of that. Hunter is very motivated. I mean, I've talked to him before in the past, but on last week, he expressed to me that he was not just hungry, that he was hungry. You know what it is when you get hungry. That's a whole nother kind of thing, right? When you hungry. He's motivated. Is there something about his motivation that perhaps helped you become even more motivated?
Yes, for sure, because I know he's looking to move up in his career, move up to the next level, as far as like competition. And I don't want to be the gatekeeper. I'm not there yet. I still got something to prove, regardless of what the number says. I still bring it. I still show up and practice, just like in the fight. And I'm here to prove it. Like, just as you think that your hunger is enough to stop me. Like, no, you got to show up. You got to fight. You gotta be out. You gotta show out and make it through the whole event. You can't just be hungry and think you're gonna win. So yeah, that's cool that you hungry for it, but let's see how big your appetite is when you got a big piece of steak in front of you. Can you finish it?
Oh my God, that's for real right there. I will tell you that he is certainly motivated and confident. To be honest with you, and I don't mind saying this, he actually first was talking about Gary, which Gary is our certified champion as well. And I frankly, he won. Gary beat you. He won over you. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, if you're gonna take a step, you need to take a step with the guy who maybe fell short that night, and that's you. So he is really going in pretty darn confident, Courtney. Courtney, what's up, man?
Hey, those are all feelings. Just like if you remember us talking before my fight with Gary, I was super confident too. So. Those are all feelings.
So right, you were confident too. And what do you think about that fight when you got into the deep water that made you fall back a little bit?
I think I was having a conversation. I just think that that competition was a lot better prepared than I gave him credit to, and and things like that. And so when I got in those deep waters, it's like I wanted the moment more than it presented itself. I wanted the moment so bad, but the opportunities weren't there. So I was just trying to make it happen when, I should have took like you said, took a step back. I should have took a bigger step back and composed myself, but you learn it on the job, like I said.
What? I'll be honest with you. Gary is very deceiving looking. He's very deceiving. That guy got a gas tank.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, so right now you're giving a message to Jesus. Jesus said, okay, what are we talking about here? Jesus, he's probably trying to, let me go see, can I find that video? Gary got a gas tank and everything. Invite people to come out to the show, Courtney, obviously with your coach, Mike Bailey, who's a great guy, big supporter of IKF. All the time I see the Instagram pictures you guys put up. Somebody got on an IKF something almost all the time. I think we have our banner. I appreciate you guys and the support. I wish I could get that support across the country because we really are trying to do something special. We're going to Mexico later next month. To open up our league and stuff over there for our semi-contact. We got stuff going on in different countries. and stuff. And frankly, I'm just getting wide open. And so when I see people like you support, I appreciate that. That is important to us. Tell people, invite people to come out, and why people should come out and see you present your skills that night, as well as why they should watch on pay-per-view, akplive.com.
I think people should come out to watch and support the pay-per-view because the world is changing. If you don't see, I'm a little older, and just like they push the retirement age back in the fight game, they do it the same way. You know, so just as I like to tell myself, I'm a new age of an old guy. Like, yeah, I'm new to being old, but I'm not new to the fight. So I'm here, and man, let's come check this out. Come, it might inspire you to be next. It might inspire you to get into something. You might have given up hope, but don't give up hope. So I would say come see a good entertaining fight as well throughout the whole night. We always put on a good show at IKF.
You are the man. That's one of the main events right there of the evening. Actually, probably the main event of the evening is going to be fantastic. Hunter Sheeran versus Courtney Reed in a super heavyweight title fight, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mr. Courtney Reed, thank you so much for being on today, and we will see you again soon in about 2 weeks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. Tell Mike hi. All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be a fantastic fight between two big men. It is a reason to come out to Myrtle Beach on March the 15th. Get your tickets now, IKFFightPlatform.com. Now, I'm going to do a little thing on this next fight right here. We're going to first talk to Mr. Jesus. He's a rather newcomer to the game here, at least to me. So we want to chat with him just a little bit. But then I will speak with Gary, and Mr. Jesus has a moment to kind of stick around. Ideally speaking, I would kind of like to get both of them on at the same time. Perhaps we will be able to do that. Not really sure what his time looks like today. I'm sure he's a busy guy as well. Certainly know that he is a family man too, and all. But without any further ado, and I'm probably going to mess up his name a little bit. I'm going to ask him about that name because I at least see at least two last names, at least two last names there and everything. And I heard that was kind of like a cultural thing in Mexico and all that, but I'm not really sure. But ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, give it up for Jesus Martinez Gomez. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. You hit it right on the money. No mispronunciation or anything.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I do try. I should have put more of a roll on it. Jesus Martinez Gomez. I should have rolled it a little bit and everything. I certainly do appreciate you being on. You got to tell me something here, Jesus. You have to tell me, have we met before?
I've been to like the IKF events with teammates and just sparring partners and like buddies of mine. I actually saw you at the Lightning Strikes tournament this past
weekend. You didn't come up and at least say hello. What is it all coming to?
No. So you were by the ring and I think you were getting ready to walk up when it was one of the championship fights for the IKF belt, I think. So I was like, man, he's got his thing going on. So I'll just let it be about the fighters tonight. You know what I mean?
Right. No, it'd have been great to see you, and meet you in person and everything. Yeah, thank you for pulling that up a little bit. That thing is kind of big, right there. But I was wondering, did you ever do any PKBs?
I did too. Oh, that's right. I did 2 PKBs. That's right. I forgot about
that. Right. Okay. So I always wonder. I always like to ask people that because that's the incubator. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, most people get their start and everything in those PKBs. And I think that, it is great. And everybody and their grandmama's doing them now. And that's okay. Right. But the bottom line is that it is a very, very, I think, good thing for the sport. I'm glad that I found it that many years ago. Glad it finally caught on. And I think that a lot of people the sport is better for it because of that. So you're in Stanford, North Carolina. Is that where you're born and raised?
No, I was not born. I was raised in Stanford, but I was born in Mexico. I got here when I was 3 years old.
And 3 years old. How was that? Sir. You probably don't even remember that transition or anything, do you?
I have very like vague memory. I do remember some stuff, but I mean, 3 years old. You know what I mean? I very, very foggy memory.
Right. Of course. But I think about how. When I saw your profile and it came across that you were interested in this fight, it's mostly been in all boxing.
Yes. Yes,
Your
sir.
real fights are pretty much in boxing, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And everything. And so your record, what is your record again in the boxing?
6-5, I believe.
Right, 6-5.
Yes, sir.
And that's a good record. I mean, boxing is very hard. What do you think the biggest difference between boxing and perhaps kickboxing is?
I would say obviously the feet. Now you have to worry about how you bob and weave. You can't really do that anymore because it's a good way to catch a kick to the head.
Well, you can weave and bob, but like you just said.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful. So, I remember the first couple of times that I started, sparring and adding kicks and stuff. I had that like 2 and then roll under, and boom, I caught a kick to the head, and I was like, oh, let me just stop for a second and
what? I always like to do some Johnny Davis 101, Jesus, because I have a little knowledge in the fight game, if you will. A lot of times what the kickboxer will do is teach you about the mistakes that you're making in boxing. So a lot of people, when they weave outside of their guard.
Right.
And that is not the way it's supposed. If you weave, you're supposed to keep your guard with you. And right. And you understand what I'm saying? And so what happens in kickboxing as a trick, especially when you get hands and feet, when you understand that art of putting them together, which I was able to do years later in my career, was that you would do that to set somebody up, just throw a 1-2 up the top and make them weave outside of their guard, and there's the kick, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
So it's a great knockout tool in order to do that. Which one would you say was harder?
Honestly, like the transition from boxing to kickboxing, I felt was I find kickboxing a little bit easier because not to sound arrogant or anything, but most of the time whenever I'm sparring with people, especially people my weight, I find that I have a lot better hands and a lot better movement. So now just, worrying about low kicks and stuff like that. But I did, especially when I started boxing, I was a little hard-headed, you know what I mean, with techniques and stuff like that. So it took me a little bit longer to get good at just boxing. But I feel like that helped me tremendously switching over to adding kicks.
Well, here's the thing. I agree with you.
Right.
I agree. A lot of people are surprised because I'm a kickboxer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but when I say kickboxer, for me, and I know it sounds arrogant as heck of what I'm getting ready to say, right? But it is what it is, right? When I say kickboxer, that means for me, I tried the master kicks and I tried the master boxing. You know, and so I mean, right now at 62, when people see me doing something, they're like, okay, this guy they see I don't look like a chump, right? But it's because I tried to master kicking and master boxing, so I still can kick pretty good and I still can box pretty good, and that's what I'm saying. And I think a lot of people make that mistake. But I agree with you; it is very difficult. I trained at Fort Bragg at the Lee Fieldhouse Lee Fieldhouse many years ago with the Olympic team over there with Coach Johnson. And I was over there training for my first world title fight. I went over there, and Coach Johnson was trying to recruit me, right? Because he said, "Man, you really got some hands and stuff."
Right.
But let me tell you something. What I learned was boxing ain't no joke. You got to stand. First of all, you got to stand there. You can't hit if you're a leg away. You can't do that, right? You got to be within arm's reach to land a punch. And to be able for them to be able to hit you, which you don't want them to hit you. So the art of it is being there and not being there, right? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It's very hard. And boxers hit harder than kickboxers. And that is a fact. Now, I'm not talking about, this is going to sound really arrogant again. I train like a boxer. I'm just trying to say, I understand the art of boxing. So I took it very serious and putting your body and all that stuff into your punches. I understand it. A lot of kickboxers do not. They're very long. Like you see Muay Thai fighters a lot. They're very army. A lot of arm, a lot of strength. Boxers is all body. It ain't even that much. It's body. And that makes the difference. And people don't understand that. So boxing is hard, and I agree. So having boxing is great. However, if you're not used to leg kicks, let's talk a little bit about what Gary's going to do to you. Let's talk about, and listen, I'm telling you, I'm telling you the truth. The man says he's a boxer. He's probably not going to be used to these leg kicks. How have you prepared for that?
Well, I mean, just like I said, I did the PKBs, so I'm not completely like
Exactly.
foreign to the kicks, but I mean, just in sparring, I've done tons and tons and tons of rounds with high level kickers, high level strikers, and I don't know if you know my buddy Hunter Perez and Cole Fister and all those guys.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Those guys can kick. They know how to land a kick.
Cole's
So
good. Yeah, the good fighter, Cole. Cole just won a nice fight over there on Lightning Strikes in Durham.
yes, sir.
Really
Yes, sir.
impressive showing there too, for sure.
Yeah, so I've those are the types of guys that I've been sparring with. So I mean, obviously I'm not going to let somebody kick me in the leg. I know how to check, but I've like I said, I've sparred a lot, and I feel like my kick defense has gotten just as good as my kick offense.
I'm gonna veer off of what I kind of mentioned in the last interview. I know Cole. Cole is a string. All right, right. Cole can fight. He's got some talent. He ain't a big guy, right? And so that's not gonna feel the same, right?
Oh no, of course
when
not.
You got a Gary. Gary's like, I don't know, 256. I don't know. He up there, right?
Yeah.
And he knows. And Gary has good technique, right? Well, do you think you might be prepared for that thunder?
Right. Well, see, I actually watched the fight between him and Courtney Reed. So I kind of know. I mean, obviously it's different from when you're looking outside in. You know what I mean? It's different.
Right.
But I've kind of seen their technique, and I'm aware. I'm aware of how they fight, and they have skill. They're very good.
Right. Well, that's going to be an interesting fight, guys. We're talking about Mr. Gary Bowings and Mr. Jesus Martinez Gomez is going to be fighting in a super heavyweight fight as part of our main event at the IKF Spring Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's March the 15th. Tickets are on sale now, ikffightplatform.com. Listen, you're a family man, looks like, as I looked on your profile.
Yes, sir.
How old are you, first of all?
I'm 26.
Now that look like a pretty big family you got there for 26. I don't know if all of them were your family members. How many kids do you have?
I have two. I have a little girl and a little boy.
Right. Okay. So maybe there's just been a picture of a lot of other
folks. Yeah. I get a lot of supporters when it comes to fighting, and I'm thankful. I'm grateful for that. But
how does that feel to you to be fighting? And do you think that is a source of perhaps motivation for you when you're in that ring, when you see your kids, a boy and a girl? Is it a boy and a girl?
Yeah, boy and a girl.
Right. Looking at daddy in that ring, proud of dad, and you're looking at them thinking, okay, is that a source of motivation or even more fear?
I mean, well, my whole family are fight fans. You know what I mean? They love it. They love it. Whether it's boxing or MMA or whatever, they love the fight game, and they try to come see me every time I compete. So for me, it's more of a motivator, because I look over and my wife's, jumping out of her seat and cheering me on, and my kid now, my kid's older. He's 3. He's coming up to me, throwing punches, trying to kick me and stuff like that. So it's a big motivator for me.
A big motivator. But how important is it for you to be a good dad?
In my opinion, I wouldn't have had those kids if I wasn't going to be a good dad to them. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of people you can probably tell that to.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So,
yeah, but a lot of people out there just don't give a darn. My dad was not in my life, coming up. Thank God I had a strong mom and a stepdad. I did have a stepdad.
Right.
But it does affect you. And as I always talk about, it affects you either one way or the other way. It kind of motivated me, to be honest with you, in the long run and everything. So being a good dad I think was important at all times. Tell me something in your life that you struggled with, but then you overcame it. And what did it do for you?
Just now, like here recently, there was some like domestic violence going on between my father and my mom. And my dad's not in the picture anymore, and it's just like the stuff affects you in different ways, and it affects different people in different ways. For me, it was more of a motivator, like I said, to be a good dad, because I saw him and like he taught me what not to do. You know what I mean? That's my most important takeaway. Just going through that and trying to help my mom as much as I could, and raise my family all at the same time.
Right, right. I think that's a very, very pointed example there, and going through something like that. And some people feel like I inherited to become an abuser. I mean, right? I inherited to now that I'm drinking, I'm an alcoholic. That I inherited. I saw my dad do it, and so now I'm drinking. I mean, or I'm up there smoking because everybody in my family smoke. You don't have to do that.
Right,
You can
exactly.
be better than that. Right?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
And I think that is where you are a great example and a role model, and actually the kind of champion that we're looking for as well. You know, we're looking for good, clean role models for people to be able to follow. You mentioned about a lot of people like you and know you. Can we get those people to come out to the fight and check you out? Could you invite them right now on Johnny Davis Live?
Oh yeah. They're like I said, they're all fight fans, so they already booked their hotels and everything, you know. And yeah, if
I hope they use the discount code. I hope they use the discount code. Yeah, tell them don't pay something somewhere else. Cause use the discount code.
Yes, sir.
I don't get money from it, but it's a good idea. You know, saves them money.
Yeah,
That's the landmark.
Of course.
And so tell them, why is that important for them to be there for you?
Well, for one, I mean, you know, you look into a crowd and you see your family there. I feel like it motivates you to do a little bit better. I was hearing your podcast with Hunter Sharon, and with all the people that come and they wear all sorts of stuff, and you know what I mean, like that does something for you. You know what I mean? And again, like I have people coming from out of state that are going to show up and everything, and it's important for them to be there for me.
All right. Well, that's going to be awesome and everything. You got a few minutes to stick around a little bit?
Yeah.
Just a few minutes. I want to come up. I want to talk with Gary, but I want to try to get you guys together just for a second, okay?
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, listen, I look really forward to, seeing you do your thing and may the best man win and everything. But hang around for a little bit and we'll talk to you in just a second, okay?
All right, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up one more time for Jesus Martinez Gomez. All right, we'll see you in a second. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been hearing me talk about this young man who's going to be coming up right now. He's been waiting there for a moment, and he is our IKF certified champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and the only limitless Gary Bowens. Good. I put a
How's it going?
How you doing, Gary?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
Good. You know, you showed out the last time, you fought for us. You went out there and did your thing.
Yes, sir, for sure.
And now you have a new opponent in Mr. Jesus. He's a pretty big guy. You've heard us talking about the boxing aspect, what he's going to be bringing to the table. You already know what he's bringing to the table. Because
yes, sir.
you know what boxers do. What are your thoughts, first of all, about fighting someone like that?
Like who's a boxer?
Right, someone like Jesus.
I mean, Courtney was a boxer. He was a Golden Gloves competitive boxer.
Oh,
so
really? I don't think I knew that.
Oh, I think so. I might be wrong. I'm sorry. Don't quote me. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm
but
not sure.
He was a boxer for sure. He definitely had hands. He definitely came in there with that repertoire. I mean, it's another day at the office for me, honestly. For who I train with, we got VB Fight House over here, great boxing gym. My coach, Brian Collette. So, who I am well equipped for any style, any person, any skill set. So,
well, whatever he brings to the table, you feel that you are going to be ready. Did you change your training any differently because of what he might be bringing to the table as a boxer?
No. But I'm willing to fight back foot, front foot, toe to toe, technical. So I'm always going to put my game plan on whoever I fight. And if it don't work, I got a plan B, C, and D always in the back pocket. So
Right. Well, it's like, like I want to remind people about, some people might see the Tourette's going on. I want to remind them about that you have Tourette's and everything, but it certainly
Yes,
doesn't
sir. Yeah.
affect your fighting. It might even help. It might even help the way you be popping off of those techniques and everything. I really believe it might be something there for you. I want to ask you about the feeling about the leg kicks. Um,
Yeah.
are you planning on doing something a little bit different with the leg kicks? Do you think he's going to actually be prepared for those leg kicks, or what's your
Um.
thought on that?
Um. Be honest with you, no one is honestly ready for my leg kicks. Even my coach Brian says that all the time. He has to turn it up another level or not. So we, because I sometimes my kicks are my strong suit. So especially versus a boxer, I'm going to kick while you punch every time. It's
Right.
textbook.
Well, I think that Jesus is a very confident man. He's definitely
Absolutely.
coming. He's definitely coming in with a demeanor about him, like he's very comfortable in the ring. He doesn't seem like he has any kind of angst about it. I mean, the guy. I mean, obviously, you saw me just talking to him. He said, like,
Absolutely.
he ain't scared of nothing. He ain't afraid of nothing. And then he got his kids there to motivate him and everything. I mean, he's got a lot of reasons to come out there and prove himself. And you are a certified champion, even though that night is a tournament title. And has
Yes,
to be a
sir.
tournament title because he doesn't have the pedigree yet in the fights.
Yes.
But it's still, hey, I beat the certified champion if he wins, right? So is it motivation
Yeah.
for you and for you, Gary? If you go out there and win, it just propels you forward for a bigger title, right? And also, are you thinking about that as something that maybe gives you a little angst and making you want to win that much more?
Um. Always reach for that because honestly, what you were saying in Las Vegas, I want to compete on that on Las Vegas on the world stage,
Right.
and I'm going to fight Hunter next. I'm going to be the IKF heavyweight champion.
Period.
Exactly.
Now,
And I don't care.
hold on 1 second? Did you just say that Hunter was gonna beat? Well, I want to make sure that I read that correctly. Did you just tell me that Hunter was gonna beat Courtney?
I didn't tell you. I just told you who I wanted to face. That's just who I want to face. I don't know who's going to win, but I have zero problem facing opponent again. But I always want a different opponent, a different challenge.
Right. Well, we're gonna see. We don't know. Don't really care who's gonna win. The bottom line is, may the best man win. I mean, ultimately, that is what it is about to me and everything. What I'm gonna do here, just for a moment, I'm gonna kind of change the screen up for a little bit because I want you guys to sit right there and I want y'all to look at each other. All right. I want you guys to know that you two are going to be the guys in there facing each other. What does it feel like, Gary, seeing this man a little bit closer?
He's a very handsome guy. Hola. Mi nombre es Gary. How you doing? Como está? But I have no ill will. I have no ill will versus anyone. It's just a sport. He's a competitor. I'm a competitor. We're gonna compete. It's as simple as that.
Right. What are your thoughts, Jesus, about a little bit closer to Gary there?
I mean, if my face is handsome, try not to mess it up that day.
I'm sure the wife and everything would probably thank you for that as well. But let me say this. This is what I like about our sport, Muay Thai and kickboxing in particular. And man, sometimes it can get real nasty in boxing. In MMA, sometimes it can get real nasty. They're cursing each other out, talking about each other, mama. And I don't allow that, first of all, not in IKF. No. I don't allow that. But I don't mind a little bit of, you got a little gusto. If you go look at some of my videos, I was up there trying to rap and everything, right before the fight. Hey, my name is Johnny Davis. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And look, I always tell people, you remember Nassim, my man, the boxer, Nassim?
Yep.
You know, he would take about 30 minutes to come in the ring.
Oh,
He would be dancing. He'd be doing this thing. And I was like, listen, I love that. I love that kind of stuff. You know, that kind of energy and being confident is something that I think our sport needs more of. So we don't have to curse each other out, but we certainly know that you too are going to be going out there on March 15th, and you're going to give your best and everything. Final words, Gary. Final words to Jesus. What would you like to say to him before this event?
Okay. Cross all your I's. Cross all your T's, dot your I's, get on your P's and Q's. Just be prepared, man. That's it. I just want the best. I want the best. I want to fight the best, the most dangerous people I can. So.
Wow, love it, Gary. What about you, Jesus? Final words.
Likewise. I mean, I've said this to people before, and they're like, "You're crazy," but like, I hope he had the best training camp possible, and I hope he prepared as best as possible. Like, I want the biggest, baddest, Gary Bowen in that ring on the 15th. So I hope he's healthy and everything. And like I said, no ill will, no bad intention, just best man win. And let's give the people what they came to see.
Oh, nice. Well, we got it. Another main event, March the 15th at the Landmark Resort. Guys, that's part of the IKF Spring Classic Super Fights. This is going to be a 5-round war. Guys, get ready for it. Get your tickets now. IKFFightPlatform.com. Or if you can't be on the scene, be on the screen, AKPLive.com. Thank you, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Have a blessed one.
Thank you, guys. That is going to be a great fight, guys. We're really looking forward to having those guys on that fight. Again, we have a lot of tournament fights going on. This is one of the tournament fights as well, but it's one of our main events. But we have a full day starting at 1 o'clock p.m. of fights that are going to be going on March the 15th. We also have Mr. Tony Rosser, Mr. Alejandro Gonzalez, I think that's the correct name, also going to be fighting in a freestyle kickboxing match. That is with the little what I call the shooter gloves that some of you saw me working out on the other day. And a lot of people are excited about those gloves. I just got a call the other night. So I'm like, hey man, I think my whole fight card is going to turn into those, and they were normally doing kickboxing. So we got a reason you have a reason now to come out to the Landmark in about 2 weeks, right? On March the 15th. For the super fights. All of the information that you need is on the IKFFightPlatform.com. Just go to the hamburger menu, go to events, and you can see all of the information, including tickets. We also have tables on sale as well. So go ahead and get those. We need to have those in advance. If you want to get those, they're on sale right now. They're going to go up as they get a little bit closer to the event. So go ahead and get those now. So if you got any family members that want to get a table, have them contact me and everything and get the best deal. IKFFightPlatform.com, AKPLive.com. That is where the action is going to be happening. All right, guys, on a few other things I want to just cover here before I sign off for today. Man, that was some great interviews. I love talking to people. I love our fighters. Our fighters are so smart, they're so intelligent, and they're so respectful. And I love that. One more time, guys, check this out right here. The IKF World Classic in the fight capital of the world in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's going to start on July 18th. Registration is going on right now. Look at that belt. Look at that belt, guys. The best belt in the industry. If you're in the open division, you can get that. Remember, we got 5 rule styles. We have international rules. We have unified rules. We have modified Muay Thai. We have a 4-rule Muay Thai with elbows. And we have freestyle kickboxing, all at the World Classic. Get registered, men, women, and juniors. You can see the fighters that are there now. Brackets are still open. At some point we do close the brackets off for new divisions. Right now, they are still available. I recommend that you'll go ahead right now and get in that event and all. You got a little time, but the price is going to keep going up. Why pay more? It's going to be the same tournament. Whether you pay $3 or more, right? It's going to be the same tournament. Why would you want to wait and pay more, right? The IKF World Classic in Las Vegas, Nevada is certainly just around the corner. It's going to be a great event, a fun event. I always like to say, too, that it's an honor of Mr. Steve Fossum, who we lost a few years ago. He's the CEO, man who put a lot of work in. And if you come for no other reason, come out and give this man the respect and honor that he deserves. He put so much work into the IKF, and I'm honored to be able to help Ms. Tony Fossum, our CEO, continue to lead the charge across the country and try to make things better for our athletes. It's a lot of work, guys. You have no idea the work that it takes to try to keep fighters safe and all that. And then we have competition of people coming in, and some people are just snakes. They just come in and they just do, and they just try to cut your throat, cut your arm out. No one knows the psychological stuff that people in my position, the sponsor position, and other positions have to go through, from the parents to the fighters to the trainers and to just the other people and other organizations who, try to cause our demise. I think there's enough room for everybody. I try to respect, everybody out there in other organizations. I hope that people will do the same for us. We're just trying to make it great for the sport. I think we deserve that. And why myself, Mr. Fossum, and others out there getting everything we got to try to make it better. Making it better, though, is trying to do it right. Making sure that you got regulations in place. Make sure that you have a proper insurance for these fighters. Making sure that you give them nice venues, to participate in, and things like that. And then you follow the rules that you have on your books. Those things are important. It's not just, got another opportunity to fight and go fight. You should be taking note of where you're fighting and what you're doing and hoping that they're taking care of you and your fighters. I mean, listen, we're not perfect. We certainly fall short sometimes in the things that we do, because there's a lot of turning wheels, a lot of wheels in motion when you're doing an event. So yeah, we fall short too. But I want you to know, coming from the top, along with Ms. Fossum, that we care about our fighters, we care about our trainers, we care about our promoters, we care about trying to give them the best events that they can have. We want them to be profitable. We want them to be successful all around. And you can ask the promoters that I work with directly, and most of them are very, very successful and all. And it's because of maybe what I put in, the energy, the consultation that I give them, and the support that I give them, and our programs that we have to try to make them successful. So if you're interested in perhaps joining the IKF, we would love for you to be a part of our organization from a sanctioning perspective. If you're interested in becoming on board as a promoter for the PKB, the PBSC, the PMT, love to have you on board if you have the right situation, if you will, for that type of event. If you're not too competitive in somebody else's area already, then we'll love to talk with you and your team about coming on board and being an IKF, PKB, PBSC, or PMT promoter. Thank you for your time and attention on that particular matter and everything. As I get ready to close out here for the day, got a couple of items here. I saw some things that I wanted to talk about really quick before I go off the day. I'm going to try to slow down just a little bit this weekend. We got the next 2 weeks are going to be a little bit crazy. Just want to remind people too, we also have the BJJ Super Fights that is going to be going on at the IKF Spring Classic on March the 15th. We have a whole day of fighting. We got BJJ, we got semi-contact, we have full contact, all in one day. 3 ballrooms going to be going, man. We're going to tear it up at the Landmark Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Blue Coast Jiu-Jitsu is putting on that. They'll be starting around 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening in the expo hall on the first floor. Hey guys, he's putting together, Nick Ferreira's putting together some great super fights and BJJ. You want to roll, right? You need to come out. We're going to have some lights and everything. There's going to be some music in there. It's going to be fun. So it's a nice night of super fights that's going to be going on in the ballroom downstairs while we have the full contact super fights going on upstairs. That is the Blue Coast Jiu-Jitsu League. It's adult and youth gi and no gi super fights on March the 15th. Hope you guys will come out and support that event as well. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I have for you today. I always want to thank you for being a part of Johnny Davis Live. I hope that you will continue to always respect each other. This is Johnny Davis Live, and I'm checking out. We'll talk to you real soon. And remember, be nice. Just be nice. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye-bye.